I am live. I'm going to jump right in and do some code reviews. I don't know what I'm going to do on stream. Probably a little bit of everything, but we just launched a new way of doing schematics that's way better. So I am eager to find any bugs with it. I think I found one last night. I think I found an infinite loop. I tried to patch it before I went to bed, but I don't know if I was successful. Man, I really wish I could turn off all these GitHub previews. They take up so much space, and they're so rarely helpful. Okay, so we've got a lot of PRs. Let's start with this one, the snippets. In the screenshot, added manual edits to the compiled code and removed any import. Okay. Okay, so we've got manual edits JSON file imported. And then I think they're going to bundle this in the output. And we got some console.log. Okay, it is a little bit hard to track what's going on. All right, so they're showing me the manual edits are gone. Okay. What is being shown in this video? Okay, so I get the manual edits are applying. All right, let's see. All right, more props. I think we have a little bit of a props explosion lately, and it worries me. Use run TSX. Oh, interesting. Yo, what up, Son Goku? How's it going? How's it going? We're doing some code reviews. We're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Oh, yeah, we don't want to do it this way. We don't want to do it this way. But I like your snuff. I like the snuff of it. But yeah, we really want to avoid automatically editing the TypeScript code. It's a path to many dangers. Okay. Well, I now see that this issue is kind of difficult, so that's good. You could have just gotten this out of user imports too. Like user imports or whatever should have the manual edits file, and then you actually want to execute a bundle step. All right, I'm going to try to sum up everything I just said, but it's going to be hard. Is it possible to use a bundle step here and use user imports instead of taking the manual edits file content? We're going to want to bundle other things in the future. I have no idea how to bundle, but that's the point is, I don't have to know how to do everything. I'm throwing it up to someone else. All right. Add cache to Claude Anthropic. Okay, cool. So, yo, Canada Honk. What up? And congrats on the Winter TC rename. Congrats. For those who don't know, today it was launched. I relaunched Winter TS. I think it's Winter TS. All right, we don't have SEO on it yet. That's fine. No SEO yet. It'll get there. I'm going to try to help out. I'll keep going until I find it. Okay, it's possible it doesn't exist yet. Hold on. We're almost there. Oh, Winter TC. Okay, no problem. All right, okay. You know what? The best I can do for you to help SEO here is to click this one. That's the closest one. And then I stay. You got to stay on the link. Bro, too early today. Yeah, it is early. It is early. um, but anyway, yeah, I love Winter TC, Winter CG, Winter TC. It's almost like it's pretty funny. It's like okay, well, anyway. Wow, with great difficulty. Oh, interesting. We initially proposed a structure. Oh, so there was almost like there could have been a separate committee. Oh, I see. It was almost. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. This is kind of like the politics of working with TypeScript and extending the language. Um. Oh, and you have to relicense. Oh, interesting. Wait, that's so interesting. Relicense. I like this guy too. I've talked to this guy on Twitter before, Lucas, the guy behind JSR, if I'm not mistaken. The other person I don't recognize. Fun fact, I wrote that doc. It's a cool doc. I mean, nobody really... I mean, okay. I don't know much, but I also feel like, you know, it's cool to know the internals of how these standards work. Also, ECMA might be, you know, it feels like a really big deal. Arguing about chartering. Members have no responsibilities. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting. It's the politics of it. Winter CG is amazing, though. So Winter CG is, for those who don't know, I built a whole framework on Winter CG, like, or betting on Winter CG being like the thing in the future that we use for all of our HTTP servers. And Winter CG is basically like an API that's going to work everywhere for HTTP servers. Patent or copyrights. What I'm wondering is the difference in licensing and why people have to relicense. I'm like really curious how the subtle differences in licenses. A lot of people don't know this. I was talking to somebody about this earlier this week. There are differences in licensing between open source projects, but why would you rethrow this error? Why would you rethrow the error? You're just making it worse. Gosh. Rethrow with purpose. Rethrow with purpose. Can I make a better comment here? Rethrow with purpose. There should be a reason you're rethrowing. Yo, what up, Ansh? This is your PR. Let's see if you did as good of a job on this one as you did yesterday with the other cache. Messages create. Looks pretty good. TLDR, instead of granting rights, patents in code to W3C, it's to ECMA now. Oh. Was there anybody at W3C who was upset about that? It's kind of interesting. Oh, that's very subtle. It's very subtle, huh? But why does it matter? It's obviously not public domain licensed, but patents is mostly so companies can't sue them in years. Okay. So I guess I should be thinking the licensing is most similar to like Apache 2, where you're not allowed to sue the owner. We don't have Apache 2. Sometimes I wish we had Apache 2 on TS Circuit. But okay, analyze PR with Claude. All right, so everything is good except this rethrow. Might need someone else to do another quick check. W3C is mostly understood in that it makes sense for this project. I see. Yeah, I guess that's true because TypeScript. Yeah. Yeah, it's not totally clear who should. Yeah. Huh. Very interesting. Well, congratulations. It's a hard move. Sometimes I mean, sometimes it's tough, you know? Uh, it's a lot of work to get everybody to embrace a standard. Even if even if most people are behind it, until it's like truly a standard, you're gonna have differences in implementation. You're gonna have, you know, kind of like politics that just get in the way of developers. So it's a big move just to move it forward and have people excited about it and whatnot. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, yeah, especially when everybody is running their own stuff with and very high. I don't even want to know what to call it. Like very high um functioning individuals. Like Lucas literally invented JSR. Canada Honk literally invented Profer. It's I mean BFDs. BFDs. Okay. Clear event listeners. Ooh, did you write a good test? Oh, this is a good test. No, is it? Yeah. No. Events length to be initial event count. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's good. Clear event listeners. Oh, wow. Oh, I would have missed this detail if I implemented this. Good job. Good job. Who did this one? It's good work. Absi? No, Ansh. Good job. Good job. Well done. Well done, Ansh. That's a good PR right there. I love to see it. See, no re-requests or anything, you know? Basically Gucci. Got it. Nothing is failing. Okay, so maybe we could take a second to look at Absi's issue. So Absi is like, hey, I'm not getting routes or something or another, some kind of server issue. Maybe. Unclear what the issue is. Thought on my message about code owners things. Thought on my message about code owners things. Yeah, we're gonna. The whole code owners debate is people want reviews. We want to create a system that rewards helpful reviews, and so people want to make it so that you can get reviews automatically, something like that. Or sorry, you get tagged for reviews automatically via code owners, and other random people can't come in and just leave reviews to try to get contribution points to get sponsorship. And so very, very important, because I'm all about scaling our sort of like open source work to be really, really big. I think we're well suited for a really big open source ecosystem. There's a lot of things we can fix and stuff people can work on. But I don't know if I have anything else to say on this stream. I think we need to. Oh, I did say last night I was gonna propose some stuff. I guess for code owners, I want there to be a almost like an automated promotion kind of system. So on a Wednesday meeting, I want to go through a list of like basically AI recommending code owners, and then we just say yes or no. And every like 10 contributions, you essentially get the chance for that promotion, so to speak. I'm probably not phrasing that super well, but conceptually, the reason I like that is it takes the least amount of time, because code owners across 180 repos is just too much work. I think we have 180 repos. 188. So it's like, if people have to, I've never actually, even in a company, I've never gotten people to successfully manage code owner files properly. I've had to do it. I've had to go in and write the code owners that I think are best for a repo. I don't want to do that. I want it to be automated. So something like that. So your Codium API is not working the demo is, lol. Oh, the demo API key. Okay. Yeah, we can just throw the demo API key in there probably. Zohabe, what up? Welcome. Well, it's popping. It's popping today. I just realized how easy it is to build tools like V0 or Bolt. If you think it's easy, please come to TS Circuit and write a new version of our AI tool, because it kind of is. It's kind of bad right now. But this is our V0 to make a blinking LED. I was thinking about this, and I think to make this better, we should have a couple drop downs alongside the chat. It should be like, what's the point of this circuit? Like, what microcontroller do you want? Just a couple drop downs, and you can say none, or not applicable. But I think we should do it. Also, this needs to generate valid circuits more often. But to be fair, it is working on this. Port doesn't have a matched PCB component. It's caused by the LED component not having. I don't think that's the right fix. Let's see if it eventually can. Yeah, so basically, if we want the AI to be able to fix code itself, I'm actually surprised at how well this works. I haven't touched this in a long time. It replaced the text content with an installation command. But the better our errors are, the more the AI can just friggin' fix it itself. Can you attach images in input? No, you can't attach images in input. But to be fair, I don't know how useful that is in circuit design. Unless you wanted to put in a schematic and say recreate the schematic, which is actually super useful. Yeah, maybe we should support images. It's a good idea, Zoheb. It's a good idea. It's such a good idea. I will create an issue for it. But I'm also going to combine it with all the other stuff I want to do. So, AI improvements. Maybe I should make a GitHub discussion, because I almost feel like AI improvements. Dropdown that allows you to select a microcontroller with options: Pico, Arduino, Nano. Just to keep it like super simple. And then later on we'll support, we could throw in RP2040. Basically, like, I think every circuit should have this kind of like base. Damn, you built it as well. TS Circuit got everything. We got stuff. Allow image upload of schematic. Allow different types of uploads, of image uploads. First upload can be schematic with if user presses, trying to get out what's in my head. If the user presses the schematic upload button, we open a dialog where they can paste/upload an image of a schematic or paste in text for a netlist. Okay. All right, let's do some diagrams. Let's draw this feature out just a tiny bit. Dialog. Or no, this is our like little chat interface. Let's start there. Okay, chat interface, rounded corners. I'm a PM right now. Little button, the quintessential little button. Okay, that's our upload button. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, you didn't think you'd learn how to become a PM today, did you? Well, okay. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Why I love Excalidraw, it's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look sketchy. Okay, so we're going to have some buttons. So this will be like All right, they're not actually blue. You have to make this look good. You have to make this look good. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. I'm at the wrong zoom level or something. Micro, and that's a drop down. Love how Mac loves to put a little period after all my double spaces, a feature I have never used ever. Upload schematic. Oh, geez. All right, I'm giving up on that. Look, you just need to get the concept. One thing I like about things that don't look good is people don't assume that it's supposed to look anything like your little mock-up. Okay. So put some big text over here. It says upload schematic. There's like an area to drag and drop a file, drag and drop image. But then you can also describe netlist. The reason I have this describe netlist thing here is we'll want to pre-transform always pre-transform image inside this dialog into a readable netlist. And show to the user. So basically, after they upload this, we're gonna put it. Pre-transform is gonna confuse people. Always ask AI to transform. Okay. There you go. I've like mostly tested some parts of this technique, so I know it'll work. Yeah, we don't need to actually give the AI that's doing code gen the image. We just need to give it a readable netlist. Improvements, select micro and image upload. Okay, there we go. Yay. We made a feature. We made a spec for a feature. Don't at me. The AI GPU is out 5090. That is very exciting. Free routing in PCB viewer. Is it working? We're about to check, Absi. We're about to check. I got distracted. Can you use TL draw? It is Excalidraw, but better. I like both. I think I like TL draw a little bit more. The TL draw guys are pretty cool. Bro, a guy selling courses went to on-site boot camp and now open a college. Can you believe it? Who? Selling courses to an online boot camp. Oh, your best friend, I forget his name. Mark. Okay, yeah, so right, cloud routing. Yeah, Absi, we probably need a repro on this. Do you have a branch? Do you have a branch I can check out? Do you have a draft PR? Yeah, sometimes I forget you can't merge. I do need to probably make... The problem with... the reason why people can't merge... Normally I approve and you can merge yourself. But the reason I can't roll that out to everybody is... Until recently, pragmatic versioning, our version release system, didn't support protected branches, but now it does. So I can probably start rolling out the ability to merge to people. His name is Harkirat Singh. Do you know about him? I just use auto cloud in trace length story test. Okay. Want me to do the modification myself. Not going to make life easy for me. I see. You know, I meant to check this, but I need to take a look at your cache expiry. 1 week. Yeah, that's good enough. Yay. That cached Anthropic is a pretty reusable little class. So, all right. Right. So you want me to modify this story. Okay. So The story name is trace length tooltip. And we're going to put auto router equals auto dash cloud. And then it's going to make API requests so we can see we got some output. But your output is empty. Your output is empty from your auto router. See that? Auto routing job output, and it's an empty. It's empty. It's an empty output. We can see the payload that you sent in. The payload looks pretty big. So off the top of my head, I can't see any issues with the payload. There's no obviously wrong issues. I don't see any source traces, weirdly enough. Source trace. Oh, no, there's some. Yeah. Okay. So it seems fine. What do you think about the personal message I've sent you? Well, usually with personal messages, I don't go on stream, but I answered that at midnight, and it's now 9 a.m., and I've been streaming, for 30 minutes. So I mean, unless you want me to pull up personal DMs right on stream, I'll get back to you. But I will say that the contribution tracker, there has been a little bit of inflation, but it's still good. I think the criteria for 1 star, 2 star, 3 star is pretty close. I do think I'm going to change it, tweak it a little bit, and also make it fully automated so that I don't have to manually adjust people's sponsorships on GitHub. But it's maybe changed a little bit. I don't know. I just have to I have to think it through and also look at also guess how many contributors we're going to have in 2025. Don't pull that here. Have you thought about it? Yeah, I just get my thoughts. I think there's many aspects of this project to manage. Okay. Right. So if we display the rat's nest, is it showing? Is the auto router working at all? Is it completely broken? Yeah, I don't know, Absi. You're not getting any routes back, and I don't know why. Let's open up the LED flashlight. It's my favorite test board. And this is using the cloud auto router. Routed just fine, pretty quickly. Let me look at your code and see if there's anything off-putting about it. Oh, it looks fine. Capacitor. Also, see that capacitor C you have raised. I have answered you there. What? What are you talking about? What does that mean? See that capacitor? See what capacitor? There's no this capacitor? Are you talking about a PR? What do I need to look at a PR? The repo. I need the repo. Absi, I don't know why the auto router isn't working, but I have a suspicion that the auto router doesn't support rotated pads. Actually, that's probably it. Let's make a reproduction. I don't know. Instantly solves it. Yeah. That's me. Okay, so to reproduce this, we can use this little tiny circuit, and then we can just rotate the pads. And I suspect that this won't work. So how I'm going to test this, DSN files are the universal auto routing format, basically. So I'm going to go to dsn.tscircuit.com. I'm going to visualize the DSN I just downloaded, with our DSN viewer. Okay. Looking good. That looks like it captured everything. So now let's do PCB rotation equals 30. Run. Okay, we rotated it. Kind of looks like it worked. I thought it wasn't going to work. I thought I solved this. I guess I didn't solve it. That's disappointing for me. That is disappointing for me. How about that random 0.00009999F value for the capacitor? Over here? Was that in that? Did you see that somewhere? You're not using AutoCloud. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so now we download the DSN. I could have just downloaded the DSN and not second guess myself. Okay, let's upload different files. We're going to upload our DSN file, and there you can see the pads aren't loading. So the issue is the DSN converter doesn't support rotated pads, and thus they cannot be sent to an auto router. So let's make an issue for it. I love a good issue like that. It's such a good, like, I don't know, how would you describe it? It's a good, like, straightforward issue. And then I'm going to link the stream so that somebody can find out. At the 32-minute point, this is discussed. Yep, and you also know a little bit about debugging the auto router. So, because we always go to this DSN intermediary format until the day that CircuitJSON is widely adopted. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. Probably not. But I used Theo, T3's new product, and it's pretty cool. I would be very excited for his drop when it happens. Yo, Techman, what up? How's it going? Welcome. Okay, cool. This used to happen when I was working for a fairly bigger company. But when I finished reviewing PRs, I would do all my morning reviews. I'd feel a little bit aimless. I wouldn't know what to do. And that's how I feel now. I think what I want to do is, let's see, do I have my old stream to-do list? I don't think I finished. I think I wanted to replicate an infinite loop bug. I can give you something to do. Please do not send me a Next.js app. Not a PR. Just kidding, imposter. I should help you out more for all the numbers that have been accelerated. Fixed my own problems, don't worry. All right, we got a little imposter engineer app here. Let's take a look. You have a PhD? I'm not an engineer. I just pretend sometimes. Is this a custom blog? This is nice. I like this. You gotta do to date string in here. You gotta do the automatic, whatever. Is Imposter Engineer a company? You know, I think I remember. This is snappy too. Wow, it's very snappy. Wow. Huh. It's very snappy. I like it. I like these blocks. Wait, did I just get hit with some jank? Nah, I think we're okay. I could have swore there was a microsecond of jank. You know what? When I see this K, I guess this is Kaggle, but my first thought was Krazam. I thought it was Krazam. You know Krazam? You ever heard of these guys? These guys are hilarious.
6 a.m. Sunlight alarm goes on. I'm already up.
That was my first thought. I like it. It's very nice. Okay, get saving to work. We did this. Man, I'm trying to think what I want to do. Maybe I could work on the CLI more. CLI always needs some love. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to get this contribution board rendering. I've had a lot of issues with the contribution board. I want to get it sent to the auto router and working. So yeah, let's do that. Let's close this out. I'm going to do some quick... Whoa, this text is small. Okay, let's update our eval web worker, which should have some updates to hopefully make things process faster, or process get update, bun update. I was looking at the bun Discord. I think they have like 10K people in there. How are you awake so early today? I am usually awake at this time, but I don't always like just go online and stream. So that's how. I usually like to do yoga before I stream. That's my new habit that I'm trying to start. Yeah, I like yoga because it makes you it makes living not as painful. Okay, this is kind of boring to watch, but really the run frame is so much better than snippets at this point. I really need to integrate run frame into snippets, which is a really good is a very challenging and good idea for stream content, or for something to do on stream. But so I might do that too. We'll see. But basically, look how slow it goes. It's crazy how slow it goes. And it eventually actually hangs up completely. So my hope is it'll throw an error this time, because last night I like basically coded. I don't even know how to describe it. I like coded like a if loop counts get too high, it throws an error. So it's already 9 a.m. That's already the middle of the day. Yeah, 9 a.m. is kind of late, man. But these guys stay up super late. That's how they're here right now. Because it's like late in India. Yeah, so I think this is about where it gets hung. Let's see. Oh shit, it got past it. I wasn't expecting that. So we might actually get a board then. Oh, replicated over two. Okay. One of my bombs went off. Yeah, triggered an infinite loop. Okay. That's great. Too bad it takes like 4 minutes to reproduce this. It's 5 p.m. Canada honks in the UK. 5 p.m. is not bad. Actually, end of day stream. My 9 a.m. Interesting. Okay, we have learned something important. I'm a little stuck on this one. And because I don't want to think too hard about it, but I have a function that's about 100 lines, maybe a little bit less. It might only be 50, but it causes an infinite loop sometimes. And it's a very simple function. So maybe somebody can solve this. Create schematic, trace, crossing segments. But there's nothing technical about this. It just takes a list of edges And then whenever it crosses other edges, it just creates a segment. It's a very simple line algorithm. And yeah, it's about 100 lines. But the problem is my current approach, I think I manipulate the like the iterator, I guess, and that causes issues. So I coded in this little bomb trigger last night because I was like, okay, this is maybe where the loop is happening. And now that I know it's in this function, I just need to somehow figure out how to fix this very small function. I feel like, yeah, and I don't have a good way to reproduce it either. All right. Thinking hats on. How can I set myself up for success? You know? Let's take a moment. Let's step back and let's think, how do we set ourselves up for success here? Because I could just flip things around, add a 1 here, add a -1 there, spend this whole stream just getting frustrated trying to debug this function. Or we could set ourselves up for success. So how do we do that? So that we're not just flipping things around all stream and being frustrated. I should also show what this function actually does, because it's very cool. It's a feature that no other EDA tool surprisingly has that I'm aware of. Maintenance tracker is up. Let me check the maintenance tracker. Ooh, 26%. Well done, Ansh. You know, you're doing great. I didn't think you would, so because it was red for so long, not because not anything against you. It's just projecting from the complete redness. I did not think it would go green, but I also really just like this concept in general of having a maintenance tracker, because I have so many things that are basically tragedy of the commons situations that are very easy to track now. Very easy to track because this just scans GitHub Actions. So yeah, I mean, there's like a million problems that this solves, and I've never used anything like this, like a status page and then some accountability. By the way, look how good our uptime is. This makes me want to cry. Do you guys realize how bad our uptime was? Like it was like 70% 2 months ago, and we're finally like mostly in the green zone. Some problems with the auto routing API. I guess a couple tiny problems with the registry. But these outages are going to go away. That's like the last of it. And then our uptime is actually decent. It took so long to root out all those problems. Okay, setting ourselves up for success, right? We want to make this super testable. So I think now I can get the maintenance reward. You're at 26%. You're close, but you did do good. So here's what I'm thinking. If I really want to set myself up for success on this one, I should make it so that this is super testable, and I create SVG snapshots for different scenarios that are hard-coded in tests. This is what I did when I was fixing the algorithm for the auto router. I basically painstakingly, let me see if I can find one of these. Actually, let's just do this. We'll do a little bit of file system browsing. Do you guys know you can just paste a URL in your browser and go to it on your computer? So let's go to tests or something, algos. But it doesn't save the zoom levels, so I guess that's a downside. Maybe this one? This one? Yeah. Oh, no. No. Wow, this whole project is a mess. Oh gosh. Oh, this project's such a mess. Okay, as I was saying, I painstakingly went through and made these little SVG snapshots for each test. They're automatic. So you give test data and then it generates these. And then I could see whenever I changed the algorithm, all the tests I broke, and eventually this worked. So we can use this to try to simulate the conditions of the infinite loop and see what we're doing. The schematic trace over crossings is a really cool feature. I don't know if I have a good circuit to show it. I wish I could see the trending snippets. Do we really not have a trending snippets page that just shows like 100 trending snippets? Let me see. Maybe this board will be complicated enough. Yeah. So these little lumps are the trace crossings. So somewhere in computing these little lumps, we're causing an infinite loop. And I really like this feature. I think it's really cool. These little loops. No, other programs do not have this. This is insane, though. I think if we regenerated this, let's regenerate the schematic. I bet it would be way better. Okay, this code is dated. Okay. Let's see if we can get that schematic. Oh! I don't know what this error is. There was an odd route on those bumps. Yeah, the route is fixed now. That's what I'm trying to show. The reason I have all of these snapshots is because I made the routes way simpler. I've actually spent the past 2 days just writing algorithms to make the lines simpler, which sounds insane, and it almost drove me insane, but that is what I've spent 2 days doing. I didn't think it would take 2 days, but yeah, it took friggin' forever. And you would think AI would be really good at this. I can tell you without a doubt that AI was completely useless and only coded wrong code. Can I create a net label? Yeah, this error kind of sucks. Like, it's really hard to fix. Like, right now I'm struggling to fix it. So I also think that maybe it's an invalid error. Like, maybe it's like actually core messing up rather than the user messing up. Like, because it seems like this was before net labels were introduced. So it seems like yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's just not good. I think the problem is we want pins to only have one net label. And in the automatic net label creation, trending page is broken. Okay. I'm going to fork this. You know what I noticed when you fork? I think it destroys all your code content. So whoever built that forking feature, yeah, it literally undid all my changes. And I tried to copy them and I failed. So whoever built that forking feature, honestly, I'm disappointed in you. I don't know who did it, but I'm very disappointed that you literally, if somebody edits and then hits fork, if somebody edits, then hits fork, we drop all their changes to the base snippet. Like, I don't know if AI generated whatever code. So, sorry, I don't mean to like come down too hard, but like, I don't know if AI generated that code, but honestly, like, where's your PM? Where's your sense of like, what will users do? Right? Like, honestly. Discussed at 50 minutes. I'll just give a link to the stream if people want to see my frustration. Just like, put yourself in the shoes of the user. I call that low user empathy. And yeah, I'm going to be a little rude about it because that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. I actually created this error so the error was legit for a certain amount of time before when we were introducing the complexity of the trace. Yeah, but it's not it's not because of the complexity thing. Oh, actually, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah. So he's basically saying the error just needs to be good enough to at least let the user fix it. Let's try to reproduce again. You know what? Actually, let's create a simplified reproduction. Because I just worked with this code for a while, so I basically know how to fix it. Or at least I have a hunch on how to fix it. But like, if you can't create a net label, just draw the trace. So there's options available, you know, other than just like friggin', you know, erroring. Yeah, that sucks because that error, a user will get hit with that error and they won't even know what to do. Okay, so it's tricky to reproduce because you have to trigger the automatic net labels, I think. But maybe I can try something. Let's look at the schematic here. So this is our base schematic. What if I said I want to connect two traces to the same pin? Okay. By the way, where is the junction right here? There's supposed to be a junction right here. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, Absi. I'm going to use schematic display label to reproduce. We're thinking similarly. But maybe that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll work. Junctions aren't drawn. So a junction is this little green dot. And it indicates that two lines join. They don't join here. They join here. So the junction is in the wrong place. This issue has everything. This issue has a repro. What else do we want here? It's not a circuit to SVG issue. It's a core issue. I'll add some more details. Bug is in trace.ts in do initial schematic trace render. Is that enough? Discussed at 53 minutes. Whoops. I recently got added to community notes, which is kind of cool. I want a hotkey on my computer that pastes this line exactly. Like discuss that, and then it takes how long I've been streaming, and it gets a link to a live stream. Ideally not just to my Twitter, but that's the shortest domain, x.com. Bounties are getting better. Like, in what sense? Like the number of bounties? We have a lot of bounties. We have $1,800 in bounties. Yeah, we have a lot of bounties. We actually gave away probably too much bounties in December. I think we gave away like almost $3,000. We gave away like $2,500 just in December, maybe 2,000. Gave away a lot. And I think it was like a bit high. It's not high from the perspective of like, oh, we're not going to give $2,000 away a month. It was high from the perspective of it was really easy to get a $100 bounty. I think I made it too easy to get $100 bounties, and Eventually, we're going to scale and we're going to do 10K every month. We're going to do 10K every single month. But it's got to go slow. It's got to scale with the number of contributors, at least somewhat connected to the number of contributors. So we started too high. Anyway, that's my remark on bounties. We just started like our first month basically. Yeah, exactly. It's the labor. It should be no like, yeah. Exactly. An engineer costs in San Francisco. An engineer will cost you, $20,000 a month. So it's actually not much to give 10K a month. But that's what we have. Basically, if we keep moving in the direction I want to move in, we should be able to do 10K a month, and then we can do more if I'm very successful at getting at fundraising and whatnot. But yeah, I do want to do a more community-driven system. I think if you just take the equivalent of a couple people's salary and you do a really well-run open source community, you can kind of do good stuff. It was me with $500. Hey, well, you're still here contributing. So if you ran away, I would be maybe upset about it, but you're still here. Okay, so if we do label 1 and label 2 here, you get this cannot create net label 1. So yeah, this is a reproduction for the net label issue. How do people represent multiple net labels on a schematic? I have an idea. Like, what if we did like label 1 / label 2? But I wonder if there's a convention here, because it's always easier to copy convention rather than invent your own. I think people don't generally just do it. They just avoid it. Yeah, people don't usually do it. I like to see this. I very independently started doing this convention. I did not look at any references, but I'm glad that my intuition was on point because we generate net labels automatically with that format. Yeah, you really don't see multiple net labels being done. But is it a bug where you should throw an error and not render, or is it a bug where you should just display something a little bit weird and have the user see that something is weird and then fix it, right? I want to prototype a concept with this. I want to do this / thing. I am TS Circuit. Why would I go anywhere? All right. That's always nice. Good sense of community. And then how funny would it be if I said, "Oh, you are TS Circuit? No, you are banned." And then I just boom on the ban hammer. Just heartlessly. To date, only one person has been banned for the crime of spamming, but not in chat on Discord. They just started posting links to like crypto scams, but they were a real person who was really caught up in it. They weren't a bot. I don't count bot bans. It was like a real person who was like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm doing a crypto thing," but like repeatedly. I feel like it's okay to post a link to your crypto project once, But if you post it multiple times, you know, we're not a crypto. We're not a crypto thing. The TS circuit unit does not involve crypto. So it should be a crash error. It should not be a crash error. Yeah, I agree. Let's make a repro. I don't know if this is like the best issue to solve on stream, but or I don't know if it's the best issue to solve right now, but let's go for it. It's kind of hard to know where to add tests now that we have like, let's see how many tests we have. So if I do find dot, you can see all the files in the project. So I can do find dot grep test.ts, and that'll return all the tests. And then I can pipe that into wc-l, and that'll give me the number. So we have 149 tests. So it's kind of hard to know, or test files, because some files contain multiple. So it's kind of hard to know where to add things, but I think the test structure is pretty logical. So I guess this would involve a trace, but we don't have a, so let's create a directory, trace, and we'll say multiple net labels dot test dot tsx. And then if you ever want to bootstrap a test, you can kind of use cursor for it. So you can say, you can add the writing test guide, and then you can just say into the context, and you can just say, please don't be so cruel. How can you ban TS circuit? It is the future. I don't ban. I don't ban. This returns errors. This is a really weird module because I see all these capacitors, but none of it is actually rendering. I don't really know what's going on with this one. Oh, he doesn't have footprints. Hold on. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this guy. Oh, but what's going on here? All the capacitors have ground going up. No. It's such a beautiful schematic. And then they always have ground going up. Ground isn't supposed to go up. It's not supposed to go up, but it's pretty good. I was just clicking things. This is a good one. Good find. I don't know why this has errors. Maybe because, yeah, there's missing footprints. There's missing footprints in the PCB. And then the errors don't show here for some reason. But this is missing footprints. It was only a schematic project, yeah. I mean, it's really nice. When this was made, I thought we were going to use this a lot, but then I realized I want to use modules because there's less things being tested. I think we will do. I think I want to use modules while we're trying to make projects that look cool, and then in between projects that look cool, I think we should do lower level types of projects. So okay, anyway, let's go back to core. So writing tests, write a test that checks that multiple net labels work, or it's not going to test it, right? But here's the test code, or here's the circuit to test, and we'll just have it write this test for us, bootstrap this test. The issue you have posted on snippets, need to update the snapshot and playwright test. Is there something to do? I don't know what that issue is. Sounds like that issue might be able to be closed if the playwright tests are passing. Okay, so we actually don't really need to test anything for this one. We don't need an explicit test statement because it actually fails. So if we run this test file, it throws an error. So we have a repro. So multi-label repro. Throw that up. That's step one. And then usually as soon as I push, I create a draft PR. But not everybody can create draft PRs, maybe? I don't know. Nobody creates draft PRs, and I don't know why. Cool. So let's see how we can change the handling of net labels. Yeah, so if it has schematic display label, we're going to do initial schematic render with display label. And then the error is right here. Cannot create a net label for port because it already has a net label with text. What if, and this is just a theory, what if instead of doing that, what if we said we did this, we added a slash? Like, you know, it's not the end of the world, but hopefully people will fix it. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I'm talking about the snippets issue you have made about forking needs to update snapshots, otherwise tests get failed. Needs to update snapshots. Otherwise tests get failed. And I don't like that. Yeah. What? What are you saying? Like somebody might update the test and then the test might break and then trigger maintenance? Like the maintenance task to break? That's the whole point, man. Like we're not trying to keep our tests stable. We're trying to like build on the product and maintain that our tests keep passing. I think TypeScript is wrong on that one. Okay, so we're going to modify the existing net label text and then return. Let's see what happens if we do this. Undefined is not an object. Oh, huh. Oh, okay. Okay, let's say existing text equals that. Okay. This is confusing. Too many conditions being handled. Okay, we're going to take this out. We're going to do it separately. Because I guess there's a net label where you're going, and there's also a net label where you're coming from. Okay. So theoretically, that is a fix. Let's see how that looks. Gonna open up the snapshot. Just tell people not to do that. Ansh, not everybody is watching this stream, you know what I mean? Like, you know. I mean, it's like generally I won't merge PR. I think you're being paranoid. I don't think people will merge with red tests anymore. Label 2 and label 1. Okay, so one net label is right, but it looks like we didn't insert the other net label. So I think we have to continue on. Oh, this is a little weird. Yeah, so we need to have conditional handling for... If not existing to label, we do this. And then if not existing from label. do this. And then we'll say if not existing from label. I don't know. This code is might break because it's written a little bit weird. Because it's not able. It needs to be two separate steps. It creates both labels in both steps. So there's no way for me to isolate it without rewriting the function, which I do not want to do. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait. Why is it? Oh. That's pretty funny. I accidentally triggered this. Okay, cool. So that's like a, that's a fix. I think that's pretty solid. Why not? Very simple. It just says, yeah, if you have we have an issue with circuit to SVG getting cut off here. That's a different issue. That has to do with circuit to SVG not computing bounds properly. Bounds not computed properly for net labels. Discussed at 1 hour, let's say 1:11 in stream. Yeah, I really need a hotkey for this. But it's good, right? Like, because whoever's looking at the issue, they can just come back and see me talking about it. Really, I need a button that takes the past like 3 minutes of recordings and puts it into a video file, and then I just upload the video file. That'd be perfect. Oh, I should bounty this. Let's do bounty 5. I'm also like playing with sponsorships versus bounties. So lower bounties this month and higher sponsorships. We should probably have a flag that just says, or a badge. Is that possible? Badge, GitHub badge with how much you're sponsoring. I could also just manually update it. Because you can make custom badges, right? Badges IO. Shields. Yeah, you have to like construct the URL. So label monthly sponsorship awards. What did I do wrong? Wait, I kind of feel like that should work. Badge not found. Badge content. What did I do wrong? I did that perfectly. Okay, I guess nobody does. Do people even use this anymore? Shields. I don't know. I feel like this library is really huh. Wow, there's a lot of really cool badges you can do, huh? I didn't know this. What CSS framework? We use Tailwind. We use Tailwind everywhere. We even use Tailwind for our libraries. You need to update the name for every net label connected to that one. Absi, is that still relevant? I think you don't need to update the name of every net label. And the reason why is, yes, these are all different net labels, right? They're all different, but it's still 100% readable. Like, you just have to know mentally. Like, you do have to mentally keep track of these are actually connected because they both connect to this net label. So I think it's bad, right? Like, I wouldn't say it's good practice, but TS Circuit enables bad practice, right? Yeah, no, you're not wrong though. You're not wrong. I would say it's bad practice to have these. I think people should lint for it. They should like they should say, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this." And I think that would make sense. Wow, look at all these badges. Wait, what is this? These look terrible. Signal, Viber. Maybe the icons aren't loading? What is going on? I feel like I'm in crazy land. This website doesn't even work for me. Hacker Earth. Maybe badge content. How do I do like a totally custom? Do you have to commit to the repo? Oh, here's a badge I could use. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want something that represent. I can't believe nobody has like wanted this before. Like, I just want to represent that we sponsor. I want more contributors. I'll never be satisfied. As many PRs as you guys do, until we have 100 contributors. There needs to be enough contributors where there could be a contributor rebellion. Where we're like, oh, we're going to be JS Circuit. Until that happens, do you like, cuz is it really, if you can't rebel, you know? All right, so yeah, add support for duplicate net labels. More. Oh, wow, that's a terrible PR name. Okay, so support for multiple net labels on same pin. So that should fix a bunch of rendering bugs that would have confuzzled users. Oh, I almost forgot about this. We should log to Sentry every single error that people see on snippets, so that we can figure out what are the biggest errors that people are hitting and being confused by, and that'll help us kind of target, you know, what do we want the AI to improve. So we might be able to use PostHog. Actually, I hadn't thought of that because we already have PostHog. PostHog error report. Yeah, PostHog error tracking. Is that a thing we can do? Although I noticed PostHog is actually broken for me in my browser. Like, I don't log anything to PostHog. I probably need to. It's probably because of my ad blocker. Oh. Yeah, this also doesn't look quite as nice as Sentry's, but honestly, it might be good enough. Let's do both. Top error, use name prop. Ah, yeah. Yeah, use name prop. We could try to do like auto naming, but I think that's a road to disaster if we use auto naming. Yeah. Ooh, we broke a different test. Sad. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. We got to go fix something else now. Oh, it's just snapshots failing. See, sometimes it's not that bad. Let's take a look. If I have a lot of snapshot updates, if I'm debugging, I always look at snapshots locally, but if there's a lot of snapshot updates and like I don't suspect anything's wrong, I just push it and then I look at the diff on GitHub. So here we have our diff. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't even see a change. If you can't see a change, you can always pull up the swipe tool. Just go back and forth. That shouldn't have even thrown. We have a thing called look same. That should have prevented that from throwing, but I don't know. Okay, how about this one? Okay, I have no idea why that would happen. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, it's because we changed the handling of ground. Yeah, it's because we changed the handling of ground. So now the ground symbols are actually being drawn. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. The ground symbols are being drawn for net labels. Yeah, that wasn't happening before. Yeah. I guess that technically looks better. I don't know. People are weird about ground labels. I don't know if I would have them so far away. But that's like it's a fix. I don't know if I love the fix, but it is a fix. Because the feature just wasn't working and now it's working. I don't know if I like the way the feature looks though. Okay, log circuit errors to Sentry post hog so that we may inspect the most common errors. I'm not going to bounty this one because none of you mofoders can test it. So I don't want to see a junk PR that probably won't work and then do the testing myself. I'd rather implement it than have to test it. If somebody can actually provably test it, then they can take it and I'll tip it. But why does ground 2 not work the same way like them? Why does ground 2 not work? Let's see, ground 2. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, I was looking at the swipe wrong. Yeah. We took away the ground symbols. Oh, you're right. Oh, this is a bug. Hold on. I was reading it the wrong way. It's because there's multiple traces that connect to ground 2. There's 3. And it looks like there's maybe 4. Okay, so there's 1 trace, 2 trace. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah, because I think all of them should be ground symbols. I don't think there's any reason why they shouldn't be ground symbols. And we have ground 1 right here. That also is drawn wrong. Shoot. Yeah, I already merged it, but I think I broke something. What bothers me about this function is it inserts both ground symbols. It needs to be broken up so that the symbols are inserted separately, right? You're handling, it says create downward ground symbol. That's not what the function does. It creates 2 ground symbols. And so I can't separate the labels. I did that too. LOL, move them away because it was blocking the ports. Moving away is fine. I'm not super upset about it. I think it could be. It looks like you do no collision detection, so that's not great. But I'm not super upset about that. I think it's correct. The distances are a little high, but I can't. It should create one symbol, not two, so that I can say if there's not an existing from, create it for from. If there's not an existing to, create it for to. So the way this so I could rewrite this function. I don't know how to wrap this up into an issue, but we know the test to fix. It's example 11. So what I'm going to do is create an issue for this. And yes, I should probably not break things. And I regret my decision to break this, but I'm just going to create a new issue because I don't want to futz around with it for too long, because I want to work on the hardest problems for this stream. I think this one is solvable. So break up. Let's see, break up, create downward. Net label symbol should only make one symbol. And fix example 11 to draw ground symbols. Is that good? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we should link to the stream, because nobody's gonna know what the hell I was talking about if we don't link to the stream. You link to the stream, everybody can figure it out. All right. Stream discussed on stream at 1:26. I think nice catch from my side. That is a nice catch, Ansh. I forgot that you pointed that out. You know, maybe I don't appreciate you enough, Ansh. That's food for thought. All right. Let's get back to the meat. Let's get back to our meat and potatoes. Over 200 iterations spent inside this loop. Nothing to do but to fix it. All right. Got to be very careful to do this as efficiently as possible. It's probably a one-line fix. So we just gotta, take it slow and steady so that we don't waste our entire lives. What is the function name? Schematic, trace, crossings, something like that. Yeah, there we go. This is the function. There's the error. All right. Let's find the usage of this. There's probably only one usage. There we go. Okay, cool. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make other edges a parameter to make this a pure, a more pure function. And then I might also say you can rewrite the edges. I don't know if this is allowed, but I can have it return new edges like that. For some reason, all of these functions like to mutate the edges, but if we make it a pure function, it'll be a little bit easier to work with. So we can say edges equals this. We're going to pass in the other edges, which I think alleviates the need for these. So we're kind of, what I don't like about this is I'm kind of making this whole signature, like the process of calling it, like less readable. It's pretty easy to read before. But it's just too messy of a function signature. That's just the price you pay. Okay, we'll import this function. Okay, so we got other edges, and I think that's all we need. That simplifies the signature, should make it a little bit easier to debug. Yeah. And then at the end, currently we're still mutating edges, so we're going to return edges. The other thing I noticed, if we want AI to fix it, which it probably can't, I think I already tried it too. I was like, try to fix the any infinite loop condition. You can add a lot of console log lines, and then the AI has some insight into how the function runs, and that can sometimes be used to do it. But we don't have a reproduction. Unfortunately, that giant circuit is actually huge. So it's kind of like not suitable for a reproduction. Yeah, it's all about this mutating in place thing. I never should have mutated in place. Like, I have a million guesses why it could be failing, but we should just test it out. Hey, this is a good start. All right. Let's make a test for it, and then we'll draw an SVG for... We'll just draw a bunch of SVGs until we find a case that fails. So inside of our new trace directory, we can say schematic trace crossing infinite loop. Yeah, so normally this would be a really good setup, but I'm actually going to do unit testing, which I very rarely do, but it's so hard to know how to set up the edges properly to get the infinite loop that I'm going to be a little bit lazy about it. Not so lazy as like there's really no way to do it unless you were to like, I don't know, use there's this thing called schematic trace hints you could theoretically use. But that feature hasn't been used in a really long time. So this is what it recommended for our first test. Before I even get too far into this, let's get our SVG function. There is a pre-built SVG function inside this thing called the graphics debug module, which a bunch of people worked on a couple months ago, maybe. But you can get an SVG from a graphics object, and graphics objects are really easy to use. So we'll use that for SVG. And I'll just do expect, get SVG from graphics object, lines, and then we'll do edges. We have to somehow map these edges to lines. I don't know what the line object looks like. Let's do this. Points, edges. Yeah, there we go. Number is not assignable to X, Y. Let's try fixing with AI. We're going to be real lazy. It needs X, Y positions. Okay. So we'll do that. And then we'll do other edges. Let's start there. Let's see what this looks like. Oh. Okay. So we're just drawing our test. I need to say expect to match SVG snapshot. Okay. Okay. that is the object drawn. It doesn't look great. One of these doesn't look right. 0, 0 to 1, 0. Okay. 1, 0 to 2, 0. Oh, yeah. All the Y's are the same. Okay, interesting. Let's not do that. So we'll say we'll go up 1, maybe up 5 or something. Something like that. Okay. Let's try that. Okay, slightly better. Yeah, let's say this is 3, something like that. Okay, cool. So we've got this crossing. Probably don't need to go as high. Let's just simplify. And then, you know what would be nice if each segment was a different color? How easy is that to do, though? I don't know how any of this works. How do I change the line color? Can you not? Maybe you can't. Lines. Points. Each point has a stroke. Interesting. Okay. Stroke red. And then stroke blue. Can I change the stroke of my points? That seems like an oversight. I don't think that works. I think that's broken. It's a bug for the graphics debug module. People are like, oh, you don't make 80 issues a month, because our contribution tracker shows I make like almost, or not a month, a week. I make almost 100, somewhere between 50 and 100 issues every week. People are like, oh, you don't make that many issues. Actually, make quite a few issues. Add line stroke property. It's probably good. Bounty 5. Disgust. Here. It's 138. Okay. Whatever, good enough. So we can see. I don't know if it's good enough, actually. Sorry. I think this won't work that well. This visualization, because we can't really see the different segments. So I'm going to do instead, because these are all ortholinear. They're all. Is that the right word? They all go up and down. Orthogonal. Ortholinear. I think ortholinear is the right word. Ortholinear. Having keys that are aligned in a perfect grid. We can use rectangles for it. Say edges. Map each edge to its own little rectangle. Gotta do this. And then this needs to be the average. Yes, perfect. It's like he can read my mind. Yeah, okay, let's try that. What does that do? Nothing. Expected and identifier. Okay. Rerun. Broke everything. Oh. That's okay. Baby steps. Also, is this even correctly representing this function's input. What is a schematic trace edge? I think it's this. Edges, yeah, from and to. That's the gist of it. All right. What are you fixing? An infinite loop. Over 2,000 iterations spent inside the create schematic trace drawing crossings function. Yeah. That's it. And I'm trying to create a graphical representation of this function so that I can, we could use circuit to SVG. It might work to just use, it's not a bad idea actually. Let's try that. So like if you're just working with like boxes and stuff, a lot of times it's easier to not use circuit to SVG because circuit to SVG has its own complexity. So you want something simpler, but we might be able to use it in this case. Let's say expect. Oh, I have to create a circuit though if I want to do that. Oh no, it's not possible. It's not possible. Or is it? It's not possible if I make a circuit, but if I don't make a circuit and I call circuit to SVG directly, maybe I can get it to work. And just use that those existing drawing functions, which are very nice. Okay, so we'll say expect convert circuit JSON to schematic SVG, and then we'll put in an array. Yeah, we'll say, yeah, exactly. Add some options, grid, cell size 1, just like nice things for debugging. Yeah. Okay. It's complaining about this. Does that fix it? Okay. Let's try that. Oh, nice. That does work. Okay. Yeah, that's better. So for each of these, we have our edges. We have, actually, let's rename these. We have our original edges. We have our other edges. Other trace edges would be a better name for that. So those are the traces it could be crossing. And then we have our fixed edges. So if at any point, if we hit an infinite loop, we'll say, oh, what was the trace that caused this? And then we can start logging. Right now, our goal is just to, we can call this edges with crossings. It's a better name. So our goal is just to reproduce right now. If we make an infinite loop, we're happy. What's the major thing we want to do this year? Any New Year resolution? I know it's late, but for TS circuit as a whole, the most major thing. It's interesting. We just want to build cool stuff, man. Build a lot of circuit boards. The goal I always come back to is I want to be able to make a board a day. So on this live stream in the morning, I would love it if I do reviews and then I can just design a board. But like, as you can see, I always run into issues. So, and I file like 20 bugs. So if I can build a board every day, that would be pretty cool. And then I could like show off each board. If you build a board a day, I could have a board come in every day. I could like show them off and we could play with them. So I think that's what I think of as the main goal, I guess. So interestingly, it doesn't really seem like it added a crossing. Like it didn't work at all. Am I crazy? Does this function even work? I'm pretty sure it works because we've looked at so many schematics, but maybe modifies edges and then it returns edges. Huh. Did I break something? For the auto routing issue, we want the user to be able to download the whole dataset using bunx auto routing dataset names. No, bunx auto routing download dataset name and just one dataset name. You don't want to download multiple datasets at once. One dataset name would be Sevi ibar / growing grid keyboard sample. That would be a dataset name. I don't understand the name Y contribution board because it's your GitHub contribution board, but I can't market it as GitHub contribution board. We could also change the name. It's not a big deal to change the name, but it's a GitHub contribution board, but I can't put the name GitHub in a product, right? Because people would think it was an official GitHub product or something like that. Granted, nobody cares. Like nobody would care, but I'm trying to be somewhat, clean. I wonder why this isn't working here. Do these sometimes not work? This should work though. Maybe I'm missing some metadata that's important. Create schematic trace crossings. Other edges intersections. So we compute all the intersections. And then we replace it with new edges. There should be an intersection. I don't think this is broken. I think my understanding is bad. But there should be a little crossing segment right there. Yeah, no crossing segments were added. I'm wondering if because I don't have some metadata, it's like deciding, hey, we're not going to do it because you're missing some kind of metadata. I don't know. Let's throw in some logging. Okay, so it's not detecting any intersections. So let's log that. Whoops. Wow, it only runs this once. So it's possible. Interesting. Other edge of other edges. So we're going through each edge. The other orientation. Only check perpendicular edges. There is only one perpendicular edge, so there should only be one check. So the check, this is exactly what I've been doing for like 3 days. It sucks. So x1, y3, and x1, y3. Oh, weird. Edge dot from and edge dot to. 1, 3, 1, 3. Why are those the exact same number? This is one edge being checked, and then for some reason, this edge is not looking right. Maybe my test data is bad. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, it's wrong. Hold on. You start here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, bad test data. If we refresh, now we have the crossing. Bad test data. Easy mistake. Okay, so we have the crossing. We don't have an infinite loop, though. So we are going to maybe just make this longer until we figure out, until we get an infinite loop. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, I could try to look into the conditions that created the infinite loop in the keyboard, but there's so many traces. There's literally 3,000 traces on that board. And somewhere in those 3,000 traces, an infinite loop is created. I could also like literally try to mathematically randomly generate traces. And I actually think that probably wouldn't work. I bet we would never get the infinite loop because I think it's probably an edge case that is very hard to get randomly. But we have a pretty good setup here for testing, so that's something to be happy about. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. What's some edge cases we can create? Maybe it crosses itself. So let's go down. Why does it not go to 5-2? I feel like I'm going crazy. Edges with crossings. I just added an edge. I don't know where it is. And then let's go back to 0. Okay. For some reason it worked when I added more edges. That's pretty weird, but whatever. Might be a circuit SVG bug, not sure. So when it crosses itself, it doesn't create a crossing. That's fine. Maybe if it crosses the beginning of this. It's also possible, long lines can't do it. It has to be a really short line or something. So there's literally so many scenarios to test. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do need to search for the reproduction. Oh, it's so hard though. The reproduction was made with 771 LEDs on a big grid with a microcontroller on one side. Works on the beginning. Detected that beginning intersection just fine. I like how the crossings don't always go the same way. I've actually been meaning to. I've been considering fixing this, but they go different ways depending on which direction the wire is going, which direction it's drawn in. But I don't know. I like it. Gives it character. I have no idea how to recreate this. Okay, diagonal lines aren't supposed to be possible. It doesn't create a crossing at the end, which is probably good. Still no infinite loops. Doesn't create a crossing if you just inch over it. I think it has something to do with the length. Oh, it doesn't create it at all. Oh, it's because it's over itself. I got confused. I don't know. Maybe this is interesting. We can like exponentially increase the number of crossings just by editing the other line. So if this line didn't go quite as far to the left, and then it went like down, and then it went up, that would create a lot of crossings, maybe triggering the infinite loop. Okay, so we'll do that. We're going to go down. And then maybe we'll like go up along ourselves. I don't know. This might not work. In my head, this was a high chance of working. And now I'm thinking it might be slightly lower. Oh. Huh. How long have I been programming? Welcome, Skate. Since I was 14. Long time. Over 10 years. I'll never reveal how old I was, but since I was 14, so 2-3 years. So for some reason, when we go to 0, 0, it triggers this to completely break and go to white screen. But, oh yeah, we get some nans. Look at that. Well, we found a completely different bug. Maybe this bug triggers the infinite bug. That's a possibility. That it could trigger the infinite bug. The fact that we get nans in here. Okay. I call that progress. Programmer. Thank you. A pro is anybody who is paid to do a thing. So I think it is technically true. Or who has been paid. Huh. Okay. So why is it creating nan? It's times like these, I kind of wish I knew how to use a step-by-step debugger. I don't usually use them. I've used them on occasion, but this would be a really good case to use a step-by-step debugger, I think, because we could just look at this function, try to figure out when something is nan, and then set a breakpoint. I heard some people talk about on the Bun Discord using the debugger. So I think what I might do is try to use the debugger for fun. Okay, so we're going to call this branch fix infinite schematic trace commit fix infinite schematic trace. Or actually, that's a bad commit name. Repro nan in schematic trace minor refactor. I'll put that in a what do you call it? A draft PR. And then I will come back to this. I think this will be fun. Ah, man. Let's look it up. Bun debugger. I'm debating how long I have to spend on this because I'm supposed to interview somebody to get a puppy. So I gotta call them and look at a puppy and see if I want it. Okay, so to enable debugging when running code, use the inspect flag. This starts a WebSocket server that can introspect the running process. Okay, so I don't know how breakpoints work though. So let's say, like, I don't know how the breakpoint communicates. I don't know. Like, is it going to detect it automatically. Is VS Code gonna work its magic? Let's just set a breakpoint here. That's kind of an area I want to look at. Then I'll do bun test, path to the test, -- inspect, debug in browser. I think you can, so I don't think it's connected to VS Code properly, but isn't there I could just write debugger, I think. But it's finishing, which makes me think it didn't work. So I can, it looks like I can do some stuff to get the debugger attached. I'd be down to use the web debugger, so I don't have to debug in VS Code. Sounds pretty sick, actually. Wow, Bun is kind of crazy, huh? Bun has a lot of features. How to break for debugger JavaScript. I'm pretty sure there's a function. Yeah, it's debugger. Doesn't seem to work, though. It seems like it's still running the test. Maybe we need inspect-wait. Oops. Come on. Let's add it as a trusted domain. Debug.bun. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so apparently I need an inspect wait. So we'll close that out. Let's put this debugger where I actually want it. Over here. And we'll do inspect wait. Run over here. So if the debugger isn't attached, I guess the debug lines don't work. But now the function is run and we can see stuff. So cool way to debug. Can I zoom in? Ooh, I don't think it's, my hotkeys are broken. But I might be able to zoom in like this. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. So never use this tool, but if I hover over this, I can see we've got some nan stuff. So we're doing great. How closely tied to React is TS-Circuit? It's not. It's not very closely tied to the core library. So if you, yeah, I mean, like, but why are you asking? Like, is it because, like, so you can use classes with TS-Circuit. You can just say new resistor. You don't have to do the resistor thing. But the reason we have a React kind of coupled with it is because React is a really good declarative programming paradigm, and there is no alternative. It's not like web where you could use HTML or you could use other things. It's like in Python you have to invent your own declarative programming patterns, and as a result they're not very popular. So React is really a standard for a declarative programming paradigm. I like the idea of using version control for my circuits, but I'm not that familiar with React. Yeah, I think it's not that bad is what I would say. Yeah, I would say, like, if you look at TS-Circuit code, by the way, you should definitely sign up. I'm dying. I need more signups. My metrics are subpar, but at the moment. But yeah, I mean, like, this is mostly TypeScript. Do you know TypeScript? This is mostly TypeScript, and then there's, like, you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's almost like XML, just laying out the traces, and you can even do this pretty easily. The reason I recommend using React, even though you can do like new board and all of that will work. And I'll probably write a whole doc on how to use TS Circuit without React. But like the reason React like shook the world, I think. Yeah, TypeScript you're okay with. Yeah, I'll write a doc on it. I'll write a doc on it. I've been meaning to write some like really long form, like really high quality documentation. For like some patterns like that I want to make sure that people understand. So the reason why React was such a big deal in the TypeScript world, and there are other alternatives now, but they're not available to us. But the reason why it was such a big deal is because for the first time you could import an NPM module, drop it into your project, and everything on a website would render properly, right? There was no, like, even in Angular came before React. You would install modules and you try to get them to work and they would break constantly. They would always break, but React just worked. And it's because the declarative paradigm of React is very simple and it translates to JavaScript very simply as well. So it encourages good patterns without limiting you too much, giving you more work to do. No, it's good. It's good. I was thinking I need to write a whole book on how to use TS Circuit as it stabilizes and just have that be like the reference and then iterate on it. And I think I want to do it as a book or as a long web page because I've tried to get contributors to write docs and I'm not happy with how the docs are like kind of scattered and don't have a good logical way to read it. And there's old screenshots and stuff like that. And that's kind of a limitation of the documentation platform we're using, which I like, but I'd rather just do it in kind of a book form where I think the way you progress is it's such a well-known structure for I don't know, doing things like chapters, like all those concepts. I want all those concepts. And one chapter would be like using TS Circuit without React, which is totally possible. I wouldn't recommend it, but totally possible. And depending on what you're building, it might even be a really good choice. So, but the community registry is really for React stuff right now. So you would have to operate outside the registry and you would have to build circuits yourself. You probably wouldn't be able to leverage as many other people's circuits. Granted, you could just import them and add them, and you could do like a partial React system where you don't really need to use React. I don't know. I'll look into that. You could probably use the registry, but I haven't done it, so I don't know. Yeah. All right. Anyway, that was a rant, but let's see. Let's try to figure out where these NaN values are coming from. This is a little too zoomed in for me. Having trouble reading. Let's go here. Yeah. Okay. So this guy, one of these is NaN. Before crossing is NaN. Is after crossing NaN. After crossing is also NaN. Okay. So calculate points slightly before and slightly after crossing. And it looks like the crossing point is fine. Crossing segment length is fine. Crossing unit vector is not fine, okay? So get unit vector from point A to B from here. Crossing point. Oh, the from and the crossing point are the same. You know, this was a lot easier to debug with the debugger. This is pretty nice. This is built into Bun. I literally just went to the URL Bun told me to go to. That's pretty nice. I might use this feature a lot. I'm like really impressed. I had no idea you could do this. No problem. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for asking. Wait. It's I need to make more docs on it. Yeah. We're really not even that much of a React framework It's mostly a TypeScript framework, just we put React on top. Okay. So get unit vector from point A to B. So if the edge.from is the same as the crossing point, then you don't have a crossing. So I think that's the condition we need to add. I'm almost a little disappointed. It is so easy. I was like really okay, so if I wonder if we should almost detect this sooner. If the crossing, yeah, that's probably fine. Is there a more generic thing we can say here? Like if they're too close together? I'm not going to worry about it too much. If and crossing point at y, then we're going to say on top of each other, the unit vector would be undefined. No crossing necessary. So yeah, do we continue? Are we in a big loop? Continue. Okay. Let's turn off the inspect. And then let's take a look at our SVG and see if we fixed the SVG. Yep. So the SVG is drawing now. Before, this was going to a white screen. So we fixed one issue. Not clear if this will stop the infinite loops, but I'll leave in the bomb, the bomb check for infinite loops, and we'll see if it comes up again. If it doesn't come up, it means we probably fixed it. Let's go to this test, remove the console.table. It's unnecessary. I'm going to remove some ghost code. And we'll remove some of this ghost code. Okay, cool. Fix nan issue with crossing segments. Yeah, I've given this problem to AI and it never caught that, so. Fix and repro for nan and schematic face, minor refactor. And then we'll go render my big board after this is merged, and we'll see if we still have this error that's preventing this board from being created. After this board can successfully be created again, there's a couple things we can do. We can benchmark to try to make it render faster. I think there's tons of optimizations we could do. And we also need to get the auto router working against it. And I have some ideas there why the auto router might not be working. I think the payloads we're sending are probably too big, for example. And there's tons of ways to reduce that. For example, to do auto routing, you don't need to send any information about schematics. So we could remove schematic information before sending it up. So lots of stuff to optimize. But I'm going to merge this, and then I'm going to go do my puppy interview, and I'll probably be back later. Yeah, fun Friday. So yeah, we'll see. I'll try to do one later. Thanks for joining. If you joined, be sure to start on GitHub, join the Discord. It's right up there. tscircuit.com. Got a big Discord link, except on mobile, apparently. Just hit that Discord link. Get in there. Say hi. And sign up, because we need signups.